Yo, what's up, guys? Great win for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, guys, defeating the Tampa Bay Lightning 2-0. Now, guys, what a great and solid performance tonight by the Maple Leafs. A tight defensive hockey game by them. A really positive performance tonight after losing to the Habs on Saturday in the shootout. Really great game, but especially Dennis Hill to be his first career NHL shutout. 29 saves for Dennis Hill to be. Hill the Beast, man, was absolutely spectacular tonight, guys. And it couldn't have come at a more perfect moment, guys. You know, with a Wall and Stolars. Hill to be his last 3 starts, guys, has made 95 saves on 96 shots, has a 960 save percentage, getting his first career shutout, like I mentioned. This is the perfect time for this guy to gain some confidence and get in the net there and come up with some big wins for the Maple Leafs with the Wall and Stolars in the lineup, guys. He was spectacular tonight, especially in that first period, making 15 saves to give the Leafs a 1-0 lead through the first period, of course. But listen, the entire team as a whole was very good tonight. You know, you had Troy Stecher making a great goal line clearance there, guys. You know, that puck got past Hill to be Stecher. Makes a great play to get the puck out of the crease there, saving a goal for the Leafs, guys. And the Leafs as well defensively tonight, they were solid. You know, in the last 6 games, the Leafs have only given up 5 goals, guys. They're starting to get the defensive identity again that they had last season. You're starting to see the players buying into it now. You're starting to see full commitment from both the forwards and the Ds, guys. It is fantastic to see. You know, the Leafs defensively tonight, guys, you know, broke up a lot of plays, clogged the zones. You know, great physically. Jake McCabe was physical. Benoit was physical. Loved seeing what I saw today. You saw Tavares getting into scrums. You just loved what you saw tonight by the Maple Leafs, guys. You know, first period as well, you know, I thought the Leafs played well. You know, I really liked the Matthews, Domi, and Nyes. Matthews was looking really good tonight, guys. He had 6 shots on net. Obviously, Matthews scored the empty net winner. Well-deserved goal by him as well. So I thought that line was playing very well. I liked how Scott Laughton was playing tonight. I really liked how Joshua Walkman were getting physical as well. You know, obviously we saw Joshua get into a fight after what happened with that scrum. Obviously, Mermis getting a knee-on-knee in the second period, of course. And then we saw McMahon as well, guys, getting a penalty for literally karate chopping a guy with a stick over the head there. I think it was Bjorkstrand. So misconduct for those 2 guys. We saw a lot of physicality with the scrums. We saw the Leafs have some very good opportunities in this game to extend the 1-0 lead. You know, you had Tavares hitting a post. Kelly Yarncrook had an opportunity in front of the net there. You had Matthews in the third who had an opportunity where Domi passed him the puck and Johansson made the saves, or Johansson made the save there, guys. Willie Nylander had an opportunity, but tries to pass instead of shooting. The Leafs had some great opportunities tonight to make it more than a 1-0 lead. Obviously, it ended 2-0, but it could have easily been 3-4-0 if you guys ask me. Now, the power play's looking solid as well. The Leafs power play's been at like, penalty kill, sorry, has been at like 90% on the penalty kill the last 5 games, so that's looked really good. And then obviously the power plays, we all know what the mess the power play is, guys. 0 for 2 tonight for the Maple Leafs. The power play is just in absolute shambles, as we all know. The Leafs are ranked 30th in the league right now on the power play. It's a complete another mess right now. We can't even get into the zone and start cycling. The Leafs are just very infuriating to watch when it comes to the power play, to say the least. But other than that little negative tidbit there about the power play, other than that, though, guys, the Leafs played 3 solid, tight defensive periods. They did not give Tampa very much. Even though Tampa was the better team the first 10 minutes, I would say, of the first, I felt the Leafs were just the better team moving forward the rest of this hockey game, guys. You know, Kucherov and Gensel, you know, they had some opportunities, but they were very quiet offensively, if you guys ask me. That's because I felt the Leafs were doing everything right on the defensive side, guys, of the ice tonight. You know, like I mentioned, the physicality was there. The clogging of the zones was there. You had guys just, you know, getting involved that you weren't seeing a few weeks ago. The goals against averages dropped, of course, the last 5 games, like I mentioned. So these are all positive things to see with the Maple Leafs right now, guys. You know, you've won 4 of your last 5 games. On top of that all, you know, you got some really positive play from some guys. You know, and Matthews, like I said, 6 shots on net. This is what you want from your captain. You know, even though Austin isn't scoring at the clip that we're used to seeing, 20 points in 24 games is not horrible, guys. You know, Austin's got 12 goals. I know we're usually used to seeing Austin have like 25 goals at this time of year. You know what I mean? But Unfortunately, the style of play has limited him a little bit. Of course, I feel injuries as well. And he might not just be what he used to be, but I still think Austin can be a very, very productive player. Of course, scoring 45 goals at least. We all know that Austin's capable of doing that. We saw the man score 69 goals not too long ago. So if he could just continue to play consistent, get shots on net, he had a great opportunity, like I mentioned, in the third period where Domi made that great pass to him. He should have had 2 goals tonight. But Tampa's goalie made a great save there. But listen, other than that, the Leafs had some great other opportunities as well, like I mentioned. Loved seeing Easton Cowan get involved again, with the Riley goal. Of course, that was a very nice goal as well. Easton Cowan trying to make that pass to William Nylander, and then you have Riley who got the puck, fortunately falling right in front of him. Gensel, who obviously tried to dump the puck and didn't get it deep enough. The Leafs obviously came in on the counter, and Riley, luckily enough, Gensel knocked him down and his momentum carried him forward, and Riley was able to get that loose puck and score to make it 1-0 for the Leafs, guys. And that was a massive goal for us, obviously, and we were able to shut it down defensively and didn't give Tampa very much. And Hildeby, the 6'8" frame that he is, found a way to make some massive, massive saves when he needed to most. And this is fantastic to see our third-string goaltender play the way he's playing. We all thought, once Wall went down the other night, we're like, oh, God, we are in massive, massive trouble here. But Hildeby has held the fort down. The last 3 games he's played, he has been fantastic, to say the least, guys. Now, the Leafs just have to continue this play, guys. Just continue playing this way. Continue playing tight defensively. Continue to play as a cohesive unit on the ice. We have seen it too many times this year. The Leafs have not been bought into the system. They look like headless chickens out there a lot of the times, not getting enough shots on net, obviously. And it's been a very frustrating year so far, to say the least. But now, the last 5 games, the Leafs' play has been very positive. This is what we want to see. Obviously, we want 30 to 35 shots on goal a game, guys. I understand that completely. But right now, we've seen how the Leafs have played as of late. They actually outshot Tampa in a bloody period, for God's sakes. They held Tampa to 5 shots in the second period. So that's how the Leafs are starting to buy into this play. And, the lines are staying solid right now. The first, the second, and the third line. Obviously, that little change on the fourth line. Obviously, Nick Robertson coming out for Calle Yarncrook, and obviously Mermis coming in for Philip Myers. Now, speaking of the fourth line and Calle Yarncrook and Nick Robertson, look, I feel for Nick Robertson, okay? He ain't going to do shit all on the fourth line. I think we can all agree on that. Nick Robertson ain't going to do much on the fourth line. He needs to play top 6 minutes. That's the only way he's going to be effective. Playing on the fourth line, Berube should know this. He ain't going to do much on the fourth line with Lawton and Lorentz. And I thought he was doing pretty well with those two. But Nick Robertson needs to be playing top 6 minutes right now, guys. And he ain't getting that. And I get it. He's had a frustrating career with the Maple Leafs, being called up and down, getting in and out of the lineup. It can be very frustrating and taking a mental toll on a player. But this is unfortunately the situation Nick Robertson's in. The Leafs don't want to trade him, because if somebody goes down, you can slot in a guy like Robertson on the top 6, and he can give you some production up there. But the problem is that the way Cowan's been playing right now, I really like how he's been playing, and obviously John Tavares and William Nylander ain't coming out of the top 6. And Domi, he's been very good with Matthews and Nyson's being scratched. You're not going to take him out of there. And then obviously the third line with Waugh and McMahon and Joshua has been very good. Obviously McMahon got the misconduct today, but Nick Robertson is going to have a very difficult time getting back into the lineup if the Leafs are consistently playing well like this. And if Yarncrook had scored tonight, he's not playing in this game. There's not a chance in hell. So I do feel for Nick Robertson right now, guys. He hasn't been getting consistent minutes, and that must be frustrating for him. I think he's a decent player. I think he's a really good goal scorer when he gets his opportunities. But unfortunately right now, Craig Berube knows he can't play in a bottom 6 role, and he's not very effective in a bottom 6 role. So that's why he made the switch for Calle Yarncrook. Now, the defensive pairings, OEL and Riley have looked very good together in this little short span of games, guys. They've looked solid together. Troy Stetcher has been fantastic, to say the least. Grabbing him off waivers, I don't think any of us thought he'd have the impact he had. And playing with Jake McCabe right now, he's been playing spectacular with Jake McCabe. When Chris Tanev comes back, who's been skating with the team, who had a non-contact jersey in practice today, he didn't wear one today, he's close to returning. What do? Do you take Troy Stetcher off and put him with Benoit in the third pairing, or you keep Benoit, you keep McMahon and McCabe and Stetcher together, and you put Tanev with Benoit in the third pairing? Craig Berube has a decision to make because right now with Riley and OEL, I'm not touching those two. So if I'm Berube, maybe slot tandem with Benoit right now and see how that goes because right now the way the D-core is playing around the three defensive pairings, they're playing very well right now. So I wouldn't touch it like I mentioned. 5 goals in 6 games is great. It's great. You know, with the way the Leafs are giving up goals, they're giving up like 3+ goals a game. Like compared to the last 5 games. It's a nice little change of pace if you ask me, guys. But listen, this was a great win for the Leafs tonight, guys. You know, the Eastern Conference is tight as hell right now. The Leafs winning tonight, giving them 32 points. Tampa's got 34. It wasn't just that long ago. The Leafs were at the bottom. We're thinking to ourselves, are we even going to make the bloody playoffs? And now the Leafs are only 2 points out of first. You know, if you had just beaten Montreal on Saturday, you'd be 1 point out of first. You'd be in a bloody top 3 spot in the Atlantic Division right now, guys. So, listen, things are going in the right direction for the Maple Leafs. Continue this play. Continue to play tight defensively. Continue to play great in front of Hildeby. He'll make stops if you play tight defensively in front of him. So, if you just continue to play this formula, I don't see why the Maple Leafs cannot continue this consistent good run of form right now. And Matthews, if he can continue to get shots on net, like I mentioned, 6 shots tonight, keep throwing them on net, this team here will start to score goals, guys. They have enough offensive talent, I feel, to get the goals. It will come to them, guys. But listen, this is a great win tonight. A 2-0 victory for the Leafs. Love to hear everybody's comments, thoughts, and opinions on the game. So click like if you like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Go Leafs, go as always, guys. We'll see you guys on the next episode of Leafs Unfiltered. Ciao, guys.